Welcome to this broadcast, and today we are going to discuss some hardcore astrology because times indeed are quite challenging. Okay, as we go forth from May onwards, this year has been uh, a hyperdrive of karma, and how that has panned out and how you've used that energy is entirely up to you. It's a time to go deep within, and today we shall explore this Shrapit Yoga and Guruchandaal Yoga that is being formed, and there's a lot to discuss, so let's get to it. And before anything, consider becoming a member of the channel. There are 5 books that are written by me or up for sale, and a 6th one coming on Baglamukhi, so you can pre-book it. Also read my articles in Hindustan Times and watch my videos on Tata Sky Network. If you want to book a reading with me or book a puja or some remedy solutions, then drop me an email or check for my WhatsApp number. And if you want to join our Uchishta Ganpati WhatsApp group, then drop me an email. And then I'll give you my WhatsApp number so you can come straight over and join our WhatsApp Uchishta Ganpati group. But there is a lot of updates that I put over there, and it's a fun way to stay in touch. Now, this is slightly a difficult video for me to make because the astrology is completely out of whack. Alright, the astrology is completely out of whack, and I'm going to be discussing a lot of challenging issues. Things that may not sit well with everybody. So, if you're the kind that, you think that you manifest what you think and you worry a lot, then I suggest you sit down, take a deep breath, and know that astrology is a tool that effectively helps you change your destiny. Because once you observe something, you turn a wave of infinite possibilities into reality, into a wave, into a particle. This is how reality manifests. So this is the key to understanding that do not be motivated by fear. Do not be motivated by anger at the planets, because we're all here trying our best. In fact, all the planets are out there trying their best. So, and another thing is, we think that, the planets give us good rays, give us good luck. But do we ever send them luck? Do we ever think that the planets may need luck from us or love from us? So it's indeed a time, because of the Shrapit and Guruchandaal Yoga formation, and of course with Jupiter's restrictions in the Pap Kartari Yoga that has been forming for a while now, the planets have also gone through a lot of tenuous circumstances. So it's best to also send them love, not just ask them for their blessings, give them your blessings as well. So when you're doing, say, Om Prang Pring Prong Sa Shanishwaraya Namaha for Shani, send Shani also energy. And you can of course do this literally by feeding crows, by feeding black dogs. So such is the case. Okay, you should also be intimate with the planets if you want them to be a friend, if you want them to interact with you. Now, 2023 was so very karmic because Saturn was such a key player in all of this, right? The year kind of started with a challenge because we had Venus and Shani in Makara Rashi. And this is of course ruled by Saturn, and this is not the Mool Trikona of Shani. So Shani's energy here is very difficult to understand, to work with. However, Venus and Shani are friends. Yeah, we don't consider them enemies. but they both can cause a lot of havoc together, wreak havoc on us, because they're very diverse principles. You see, if Venus or Shukra is about the five senses and experiencing the life through five senses, and Saturn is all about karma and limitations. So, Venus and Saturn, although they are friends, kind of like, are a diabolical mix if put together, and it also puts karma in hyperdrive. Okay, so this year Venus, I told you, in the cabinet, all planets become come in a cabinet. Mercury is the king this year, and Venus is a minister, the minister. All right. So when we see that Venus, the minister, was restricted by Shani, so we immediately see that Venus significations, all of Venus signifiers were challenged, right? From love, relationship, enjoying the world through the five senses. All of this, the relationships, the love we have for ourselves, the love we have for the world, all of this was challenged. And Venus brings with it a cryptic kind of message. It's not easy to understand Shukracharya's message. It's not easy. And this year, especially because of Shani's closeness, that Venus's messages have been very, very cryptic. The things that Venus has been trying to teach us has been rather challenging. So we see areas of marriage, relationships, sexual, conjugal bliss. All right, people feeling devalued, people feeling not good enough. No matter how hard they try, it's just not good enough. So this kind of lack of self-love, complications in the married life, cheating, sexual, misadventures gone wrong. Venus also rules sexual diseases. So all of that, hormones going off the chart because Shani is now ruling Venus. So this has been quite, not anymore now, as in, 2023 started. Now Venus is in Aries, and this is quite an intense time. We'll get into this, but we're just talking about how 2023 started on a very karmic scale. Venus is what we enjoy, and when Venus sits with Shani, there's always this lack of enjoyment, like we're unable to just enjoy anything. So this is what has been happening since the beginning of this year. This kind of vacuous feeling that no matter how hard we try, no matter what we do, we just can't seem to enjoy anything. It's relationships are not good enough. The sexual union is not good. Hey, stop! No, go away. Sexual union is not good enough. Partnerships of any kind, right? Even relationship with parents, love, romance, very, very challenged. Very, very challenged this year. Also contracts. If you've been signing some contracts at the beginning of the year, you will see that everything that was promised you didn't quite pan out. It was not what you expected. Circumstances turned in such a way that it was not what you expected, right? So this is something to think about, that how Venus this year, it started with Venus and Capricorn, and how it's kind of also, it's making us feel frugal. Yes, it's a lot more coming up now, lot more coming up. So we see that wealth, right? The way we feel wealthy. It's not always about having money, but having the things that you enjoy. And with Venus in this situation, things have not been, no matter how much you spend, no matter what you do, it's like not enough. It's not happening. It's not working out. It's not enough. So this feeling is something we've all been feeling. luxury items, right? People buying luxury items, things are not going well. And I know this for a fact with my clients. Things are not going well. Treasures of all kinds, right? And say you're looking for some kind of treasure, and it could be literal also. It's not been easy. It's not one of those times when you feel like, oh my God, I just got a windfall, I got a financial blessing. And if you even did, what was going to come to you was stopped because of Venus being with Shani and also being in this Papkartari Yoga, right? The scissors of Papkartari. Very, very difficult times indeed. Jupiter has not been able to bless us because of this intense scissoring of the Papkartari Yoga. And the saddest part about this is that I have seen many people's spiritual practice flaking off. Because when Venus also signifies puja, by the way, in Vedic astrology, so the daily rituals we do is very, very Venusian. So when Venus is in this kind of position, daily pujas do not happening for most people. They are not able to concentrate. They are not able to accrue merits of the daily puja. Connection with the deity is severed. Like you do Ishtadev puja, and suddenly at this point, because of the astrology, connection to Ishtadevata can be severed for many people. Even if you think that you're not getting any merits out of your spiritual practices, that is the only thing that is possibly giving you the merits you need. So keep that in mind. That's very, very important, because Venus also shows us moksha. So people who've taken sannyas, for instance, people who've, seeking for moksha, even being a grihasti, people like me, that journey is difficult. Suddenly you feel like everything is materialism. In fact, in a time like this, many people become atheists. Many people refuse to stick to it, and they just give up. So trading, high value money situations have been very damaging. And let's say till 6th April, the situation is irreversible. It's going to be hard. Many people have lost money in the crypto market right now, and a lot of complications have been happening with regards to that. So yes, crypto will stabilize, but when is the question? So a lot of people have also made wrong investments at this time, or bought a house that they are no longer happy with, even got married to someone that they are not happy with. So as I said, that if this 2023 is a time you've decided to have a baby, suddenly you might face postpartum depression. Venus also rules hormones. So postpartum depression is very likely. You get married to somebody and suddenly it's like, you can't even be with them in the same room, and it's just been like a month. So these situations, so say you had a cosmetic procedure and suddenly you feel like you look into the mirror and you don't like yourself. Or you just cut your hair, or you did something to your hair, you colored your hair, and you suddenly feel like, obviously these are not that severe, like, marrying someone that you feel repelled towards and it's repelled from. So it's going to be like the refinement, the enjoyment is missing, if you understand what I'm trying to say. That no matter what we do, no matter how hard we try, it's like the enjoyment is missing. Something or the other keeps happening and it's consistent. These challenges that pop up are consistent. Like every day there's some kind of complication, however minor. Disconnection with people, the very Venusian, going out to a restaurant, not having, spending a lot of money but not getting a meal that you enjoy. Going out on a date, so you find somebody on Tinder, you go out with them, and suddenly, you realize once you go there that they've lied completely on their profile, and they are not who they are. So it's like these kinds of disappointments. I know personally many people are calling me up and telling me that this has happened, that has happened, this that. Not a good time for any kind of love or relationship, for sure, because even if you've broken up, if you try to get back to them at this time, it could mean that you'll break up. It's better to just wait this out. Now, all kinds of refinement, like going to like a nice movie or just enjoying that we won't even be able to do that right now, and we've really not been able to do that. 2023, it's been quite a challenging year, shall we say. All the Venus signifiers are hampered, are challenged, in trouble, right? We can't express our love, we can't get sexual satisfaction. It's gonna be hard. So the flip side of Venus is that we see immorality when Venus is in a position with Saturn. When I see Venus in a position like this with Saturn, continuously from Capricorn and Aquarius, and then Venus has just moved into Aries and just joined Rahu, another enemy. So and opposite Ketu. So this is like a really complicated, being aspected by Saturn. Shani's drishti is on Venus. So immorality galore, lies, cheating, all kinds of things. When we just put things up, and we project a fake image, and we are not happy doing it, but we have to do it because we just feel so vacuous inside, so empty. The ugliness of the world will be visible, and the ugliness inside will be visible. So there's literally no other way right now but to turn inwards. Mudra, mantra, a daily spiritual practice. Although you will feel disconnected from your deity, you can feel like, I'm doing all this puja, I'm doing all this japa, but nothing is happening. I'm not getting any benefits. What do I do? What is the point of doing this puja? Even if you feel like that, continue on with the puja, for that is the thing that's sustaining you. It's not easy to see that at that time. It's not easy to feel the connection. So one way to cement Venus is Shukri Mudra, sit in Padmasana or Sukhasana, and of course you have to do, start with a spiritual practice if you don't have an applied Shukri Mudra, and Om Dram Dream Drom Saha Shukraya Namaha. Focus will always be on the Ajna Chakra. When you're chanting Shukri Mudra, you can even hold Shukri Mudra on the Manipur Chakra. Is what? Whatever that means. A stupid comment, I see. We get a lot of those. Don't worry. YouTube is full of that. Yeah. So don't worry. You are not exceptional. So as I was saying, that this immoral side of us will come out. Lie to get our way in, lie to project a fake image. And we're just trying to keep up with appearances, trying to impress everybody. This also. So it's gonna get complicated. So bending the rules to suit our own odds and ends. This is something we all have to be aware of. We have to correct ourselves. Always self-questioning. And the minute you feel like this, to go into meditation or Bij mantra chanting. Many people can't go into meditation. Dharan is not easy. Dharana is not easy. Alright? So like that. this connection with the Ishta Devata or Kula Devata at this time, the severance that you feel, don't allow it to get to the core of your being. You have to try harder, harder, harder. Try, try. Okay? Now, at this time also, because of all this lies and cheating, we see that we find ourselves creating more negative karma. We accrue more negative karma, more demerits, if I can say. So just be careful of that. Now, also, Venus brings with it a message from the netherworld, because Venus is the natural Maraka of the zodiac. Maraka is the rulers of the second and the seventh house. Second house being Taurus, the natural zodiac, seventh house being Libra. So Venus is the natural death agent, Maraka, okay? Marak of the natural zodiac. So Venus will decide when the plug will be pulled off. Venus also signifies moksha. So this, when death will come, how suddenly it will come, what it will be. It could also be a death of ideas or a death of the way we perceive ourselves. Now, understand this, the Shani, Budh and Shukra friends, right? But there is just so much turbulence that can be activated by Shani and Shukra together. They are not a good combination together. I mean, yes, my Venus and Shani are together in Leo, sidereal Leo. Although Shani is in Magha with Budh and Venus is in Purva Falguni on the ascendant. So I know this kind of like, Venus wanting to experience and Shani kind of, like pulling you back from the experience. So this is what a lot of us will feel, especially with, Shani Mahadasha, Venus Antardasha, or vice versa. And for those people, it's gonna be problems, and Shani Venus are gonna create some hardcore turbulence in all our lives, right? They were together. We felt that. The only way, and don't for a second think that because Venus has crossed over Shani now and gone into Aries that this Venus-Shani relationship is over. Venus is being aspected in Aries by Shani and is giving a negative drishti, which I will go into later. So this is, even though they are not exactly conjunct or she's not in a sign ruled by him per se, don't think that it's all A. It's not. Lessons of karma, karma clearance, acceptance of karma, going deep into the psychosomatic to find healing, all of this. Now, many people will lose someone they love, and I don't mean to death, separation, divorce, just walking out, friendships ending, souring of relationships I see happening. Even with parents, depending on which houses it touches, siblings, neighbors, friends, associates, business partners, souring of relationships with people, just not able to connect with people, especially loved ones who you thought that, you couldn't do without them. Like there was a friend you couldn't do without, and suddenly that friend's just gone. Or your brother and you were really close, and suddenly your brother is gone. So these kinds of experiences can happen. Hardcore karmic rebalancing is taking place right now. And the souring of relationships that I was talking to you about, it it brings a kind of distaste in our soul. It brings a disillusionment in our soul, and we feel like we can't trust anyone. No one will be there for us. And this feeling of loneliness, this is very destructive. And this I see happening for many, many people. This feeling of absolutely, I don't have anybody I can turn to. And you have people, you have them. So remember that if you feel like this, then it's just the astrology. You don't have to take it to heart. You don't have to label it and separate from XYZ. You understand that, okay, the times are challenging. Souring of relationships will occur. So then just let it go. You know what I mean? Moving inwards and helping other people to move inwards, right? Spreading bad information about deities, like not knowing about a deity and saying something about them without deeper realization, right? So all these kinds of things are going to happen, and we, at the end of it, we realize that honestly we can't rely on anyone. We have ourselves, and we've got to turn inwards. We've got to connect to the higher self. And this is the key, turning to the higher self, right? Venus was with Jupiter, but Venus is now in Aries. And Venus with Jupiter, right, was quite a confusing time frame, I feel. It was a lot of confusion was created. And Jupiter is also now moving into Aries and joining Rahu. This is going to be the Guruchandaal Yoga that I was talking about. Now, since Shani moved into Kumbh Rashi, he started aspecting Rahu, and this caused the Shrapit Yoga. Shrapit, someone who's cursed. Shrap, curse. So the Shrapit Yoga that is being formed is it's kind of like, if we've wronged someone, even in our past lives or in this life also, and that person and that curse comes back to us. So this Shrapit Yoga that is being formed is since Shani moved into Kumbh Rashi and started aspecting Rahu. Now, Rahu and Shani, right? They also nullified Jupiter's benevolence by keeping him in the diabolical scissors of Papkartari Yoga. And this Papkartari Yoga is why Venus couldn't do what she wanted to do in Pisces. It's why Jupiter... Please take Isis in, Fola. She's non-stop doing it. She's pushing the thing and she's non-stop doing this. Okay. So this is why Venus and Jupiter, they were both heavily restricted, unable to give us any benefits, okay? And the key word for Venus's transit through Pisces was confusion. But many will not feel this confusion because the way the two gurus, right? And the two gurus, Venus and Jupiter, the way they function is they cause subtle imbalances, energetic imbalances that can't be read by everyone. But this Venus and Jupiter conjunction in Pisces, watch for the next 6 months for things to unfold. These are subtle psychic energies that will come into physical existence within the next 6 months. So whatever it is that Jupiter and Venus triggered for you in whatever house, in whatever way, whatever it aspected, whatever dasha, mahadasha, antardasha, all of this, this is going to be triggered next 6 months. Even though you may have not felt the energetic exchange between the two gurus, Shukra and Brihaspati, but you will feel that within the next 6 months. All right. Now, the thing is that there was no chemistry between Jupiter and Venus also, and this is a place where they are both very strong. And this did bring in, spiritual proclivities. This did reveal mystical yearnings within us. But I'm not reading your comments anymore. Such huge comments after you said something about Uranus, which was definitely stupid. I'm not reading your comments. So as I said, that the two gurus, right, and the energies they bring forth are going to be subtle, but they will manifest into our reality within the next 6 months. So be careful of that. Pap Kartari Yoga was possibly the cause of many expectations being desecrated. We expected certain things from Guru and Shukra, but it didn't happen. It's because of this Pap Kartari Yoga. These scissors of Pap Kartari Yoga are profound, profound indeed. Now, and Jupiter and Venus are both Saumya grahas. Okay, they are Saumya, they are soft, they are benefics, right? Yet Venus is the teacher, Shukracharya is the teacher of the Asuras, and Brihaspati is the teacher of the Devas. So immediately you understand that Devas and Asuras are always at war. So Venus and Shukra are not friends either. So they're kind of like warring with each other about things. And although Pisces, her main Rashi, was a place where both of them had high expectations. Jupiter wanted to get work done. He'd come here after 12 years, and he is here with Shukracharya suddenly, and he's a ruler, he's a guru of the Asuras. And Devas or Asuras are always fighting. Our higher impulses and our lower impulses. Lower impulses have to do more with the physicality of things, the materialism. So this fight is continuing within us, this Navratri, I feel. And this is the fight between spirit and matter. Yet spirit must fall into matter to understand itself. And matter must rise to spirit. So this war between Jupiter and Venus showed us the internal fight that takes place every single day in this physical body. But Kurukshetra is the physical body, Arjuna is the lower self, and Krishna is the higher self. So it is this journey that was promised by the meeting of Shukra and Brihaspati was not fulfilled because of this Pap Kartari Yoga, and of course the complicated Shrapit Yoga that had already started. And this was kind of like, this is karmic for all the planets as well as for all of us. We all face this, all the organisms, all the species. They're all under the influence of the planets and the nakshatras and the great beyond, of course. There is an astrology for the great beyond, and it will slowly be revealed through the new races that come, the next race, the elevated human race. There is a galactic astrology, there is interdimensional astrology. So all of this will be greatly explored, right? Like for instance, right at the Virgo supercluster, at the heart of, even beyond the Lanikia supercluster, there's the great attractor. And it's pulling all of this matter. And I'm talking about mega galaxy structures. It's pulling it all, it's attracting it. The gravitational pull is so strong. It's called the great attractor. So the great attractor is in sidereal Libra, I think. So can you imagine, or Virgo, sidereal Virgo, Libra. So there's an astrology to that, which we will slowly learn and evolve and grow. We are also just growing, learning. So there's just so much that is going on that we can't see. I told you that we see less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum. So we barely see anything. There's just so much that we miss. We hear nothing. So, what is really happening? What is going on? We don't know. We don't know. Will we ever? I don't know. I just wanted to show you guys. Have you seen my yellow asan? It's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see it. Da, 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 da. Can you see it? Yes. All right. So now we've got, we discussed the Pap Kartariya, we discussed the dynamics between Jupiter and Venus. Now, Venus is in Aries as we speak, in Mesh Rashi. And Venus joins Rahu and is aspected by Shani. So, what does this mean? Problems, complications. Today's report is slightly challenging. I didn't want to go all doom and gloom, but hey, it is what it is, and if you're at least aware of it, then you know what to do, right? You know how to behave, what to say. You know what to do, right? So this, the Shrapit Yoga that started as soon as Shani started aspecting Rahu. The Shrapit Yoga now goes into hyperdrive, nitro. Take the nitro gear. Boom. So the Shrapit, the curse removal, doing Yogini, Utkilanam, Bhairav, Utkilanam is very, very powerful right now. Utkilanam or curse removal rituals are tantamount to spiritual growth. You can say, I've never been cursed by anyone. You don't have to be cursed in this life. There's some kind of sharp that is coming to you, right? And this is what you need to rectify. This is the energy you need to correct. What you put in the physical body, right? How you treat people, how you behave with people. This is very, very important. Tratak on the flame. Alright? It's very, I wish I could show you my yantras, but they all have like haldi, waldi and all on it. So I really can't take them out. But Bhairav Yantra, definitely I have a Bhairav kit if you're interested in Bhairav initiation as well as Bhairav kit, let me know. Bhairav is possibly the best energy to help you, and Ganpati. Bhairav and Ganpati, because Devi Sadhana right now, if you've not done Ganpati, definitely no. If you've not done Bhairav, definitely no. So you have to start off with Ganpati, move on to Bhairav, and then move on to Devi Upasana. Shakti Upasana is not child's play. It has to be done systematically. It has to be done. It's like climbing the Everest. I mean, it's Kundalini rising. So it's like climbing the Everest, the Sumeru, right? So I mean, think about that. It's you wouldn't go to Everest without the correct gear or the Sherpa, right? So that's the thing. Know how to work through this time with proper spiritual guidance. Learn Ganpati Upasana. Learn Bhairav Upasana. This is the time to do it. Now, this Nitro Yoga of Shrapit, this situation is very active till April 6th. Hard times and no satisfaction. And if you expect problems, and they're going to come manifold. So, it's going to be tough. Losing connection with one's Devi or Devata, as I already mentioned, it's very, very viable. Like, you're doing Ganpati and you feel like, you're not being able to concentrate. You're not being able to sit Your body is not listening to you. Mind is not listening to you. The mantras give you no pleasure. Forget about pleasure. It's the only thing that will keep you afloat at this time. You need to be tidied over with. So be careful with this. And also another thing that you will notice is Devi and Devtas will be harder to appease. So if you're doing, the Shrapit yoga, if it wasn't there and you were doing one mala and you're feeling the benefits, then now you will need like maybe 3 malas. So it's like that. You have a puja that you're getting done, and before maybe it would have worked only one time, but now you need to get it done 3 to 6 times. So it's like that. The times are difficult now indeed. And Devi Devtas are difficult to please at this time. Things are not easy. Connection with the divine is not easy. But keep going. Just keep going. And even if you're doing Nitya Puja, make sure you're doing it correctly. For instance, Tulsi can never be offered to Ganpati or Shiva. And if you do this, you lose lifespan. Okay? What some other things are also there, like Datura cannot be offered to Devi, it has to be offered to Shiva. Okay, Tulsi to Vishnu, never offer Durba grass to goddess. Alright, things like that. If you're doing this wrong in the Nitya Puja, then you are this time round with this energy, if you're doing something wrong, things will be more difficult to handle than any other time. So be mindful of that. Alright, be mindful of that, because complications are coming even with spiritual practices. Connection to Devtas and Devis. Bhairav is the solution, I'm telling you. Ganpati, of course, if you haven't done Ganpati, you need to do Ganpati first. And after that, Bhairav. Bhairav Upasana is the thing that will keep you protected. Because Bhairav is Shiva himself. He has the power to control Shani, keep Shani in check. And Shani is now going nuts, controlling Rahu, Jupiter, Venus, Sun and Mercury. Sun and Mercury just moved into Meen Rashi. So all these planets are receiving drishti of Shani, even though they're moving in from Meen Rashi to Aries. All these planets are, they didn't move into Meen, they moved into Aries. And all of these guys are gonna receive the drishti of Shani. So, and Shani himself is an Aquarius sign that Rahu is very powerful in, and has just moved into Satavisha, which is Rahu ruled. So it's very, very interesting that Rahu is being aspected by Shani, and at the same time Shani is sitting in Rahu's nakshatra, Satavisha. What kind of, energy is being created is something different for sure, something unexpected and different. So yeah. And Satavisha is so much about futurism. So a lot of futuristic ideas and a lot of stuff like that, but a lot of losses and a lot of messed up situations will also occur, because Rahu is subversive. And Rahu is now subversively controlling Shani. All the Shani is aspecting Rahu. So, yeah, and so Rahu is subversively trying to influence Shani. And Shani is trying to play these mind games with Rahu. So that is like a back and forth all the time. Uncontrolled desires, that's what Rahu brings to the table. Uncontrolled desires. And Shani is about desires, no. keep a check, rain check, right? So yeah, that's going to be checked in by Shani. Uncontrolled desires, not a good thing to do. Risks, untenable risks that Rahu likes. And Shani is like, no. Shani does not like risks, alright? So expect a tsunami of karma at this time. Expect a tsunami of karma at this time. Don't forget that. Rahu is illusions. All kinds of, illusions. And Shani is famous for breaking them. So you see the disparity, you see the crazy energy that is being played out. Shrapit, Guruchandaal, like, come on, what else? Worst affected signs. This was coming, right? Like Aquarius, number 1. Pisces, number 2. Aries, number 3. Very, very difficult times ahead. I'm Aquarius moon and my baby is Pisces moon. So, mental issues, insomnia, loneliness, right? The feeling of depravity, diseases can happen, divorce can happen, death of someone we love can happen, or separation from someone that we genuinely cared about. So you see how there, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, guys, it's gonna be hell of a ride. So make sure you are aware. And this is not only for the ascendant, this also goes equally for the moon sign. Move. Legal stuff, if there's anything like, any kind of legal complications, that can get exacerbated. So that has to be kept in check. Conflicts at home, at work, with friends. Stalling of work, that you started on a project and everything gets stopped, right? And you're promised a fund, it doesn't come through. So any kind of home repairs also started right now, not a good idea. There will be no joy at home for these, especially these 3 signs, everybody I feel. And at work. For some people will feel a kind of incapability to execute whatever it is that they are doing, and they'll be blamed for it. Some people may even face random blame, just get blamed for something they didn't do, and then they get incriminated in something that they maybe they were just an innocent bystander, or maybe they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Literally, blame. And you can get blamed randomly. So be very careful. Some people may lose their homes, some people may lose their job, and some people may lose their spouses. I mean, to death as well as to separation and divorce. Or just, maybe that person's just gone to work somewhere else far away. So this. And there will be a compelling powerlessness. Like we feel like we'll have no power to do anything. Everything is too predetermined. We can't do anything. And this breeds dissatisfaction, and don't let it get to apathy. Don't become atheist or segregated from your spirituality just because of this. Understand that it's a Shrapit Yog time, it's a Guruchandaal Yog time, right? Don't start abusing your guru, or don't start, cursing them. Don't do things like that. At this point, it's best to just be quiet, do your sadhana, and stay out of harm's way. That's the one thing you can do, is stay out of harm's way. Don't say anything controversial at work. You can get sacked. Don't say anything controversial to your spouse. Resentment. Don't And people who've been cheating, you can get caught at this time. So start afresh, stop all that, delete all the messages, and just change your number if you can, if you want your marriage to last. So people who've cheated, it's a reality check coming to you. Karma is hyper accentuated in 2023. Even the eclipses are, the astrology is off the charts, sounded nice, yeah, but hyper accentuated karma. So come, it's Karma Cafe, let's be served. Yes, we are going to be served. Remedy, Ganpati Puja, Bhairav Sadhana, and the Devi Sadhana, Shakti Sadhana, Kundalini Sadhana, but done correctly. Shrapit Yoga, right? Shrapit Yoga is because of a curse from past lives. It may even be a curse that you are aware of, right? So Shrapit Yoga is because of a curse. So curse removal, Yogini curse removal, Bhairav Utkilanam is a must at this point to start now. Rahu and Shani, when they meet in detached house, that is when Shrapit Yoga occurs. And this stops the benefits of any and all benefic yogas. So you will not get any good benefits of anything. Remedy, Ganesh Puja. Remedy is Ganesh Puja and any form of Ganesh that you like. But Uchishta Ganpati, most powerful. Also Hiramba Ganpati, super powerful, most powerful. Maha Ganpati, Haridra Ganpati, very, very powerful forms of Ganesh to help you get over this complicated astrology. And Bhairav, Ashtabhairav, of course. And after Ashtabhairav, then you can get into the individual Bhairavs. But Bhairav Sadhana must be started. Shrapit Yoga is hardcore. If Shrapit Yoga forms in your natal chart, you feel cursed, stops any benefits, as I said. It's very inauspicious and lot of remedies have to be done. And the thing with Shrapit Yoga is it influences all aspects of life, health, relationships, work, looks, all of this. And you know that with Shrapit Yoga, you actually, some people say that I feel like I'm cursed. When Shrapit Yoga is formed, it's like bad things keep happening with crazy consistency. It's almost uncanny. So you have to start with Utkilanam, and Navratri is a good time to start with Utkilanam procedures. If you want to know more, you can book a workshop. Drop me an email, tina@tinahills.com. If you're interested to know more about Ganpati, then join my Uchishta Ganpati group on WhatsApp, my Sri Vidya group on Telegram, and as you know, I'm doing sadhana of Bagalamukhi this Navratri, and all I eat is yellow, and all I wear is yellow also all the time, and doing as many malas per night as possible, and of course continuing a japa the whole time. Anushthan with specific counts of japa I'm doing for clients, for people, but for myself I am doing a japa. And like I said, that Bagalamukhi, if you have done Ganpati, Bagalamukhi is indeed the Vidya to invoke at this time. Because yes, Bagalamukhi does Mangal Khand, and Bagalamukhi changes your relationship landscape, but Bagalamukhi gives you everything. So if you want to know more about her, watch my other videos on her. You will not get that kind of information in any book or in any video All right, and the best part about this is it is available in English for, you know, a wider audience. So learn more about Bagalamukhi through those videos, and if you like what I do, consider becoming a member of the channel. And I'll be off soon because I have to start my Bagalamukhi sadhana. And you see, I invoke her. It is the Bagalamukhi Yantram. I have also Bagalamukhi Yantram, which is energized for a client and sent to them with a turmeric mala and a Raksha mala. So let me know if you want. And I invoke her in the Medu. This is my Guru's Mandir, Bagalamukhi. This is her picture over there. This is how she appears there. And hope to establish her because I feel very, very pulled towards concentrating on Bagalamukhi right now, and it's absolutely transformative. It's so powerful. Whether you learn, whether you do her Bijakshar sadhana, whether you do her Shabdi sadhana, whether you do her Tantric sadhana, Bagalamukhi's energy is electric. It's absolutely electric. And you know, you're the evil inside, the restlessness inside is just stunned into silence, and one can contemplate the great void. It takes us to that void awareness. So I have, as I said, a yogini class, WhatsApp class, which you can also consider taking at this time. $11 a lesson, 64 lessons are there. Minimum you will have to take 11 lessons. And of course, the Rider and Waite Tarot class is on. And it is discounted right now, 50% off the Rider and Waite Tarot class, as well as the yoginis I told you, and the workshops are on. Uchishta Ganpati, Haritra Ganpati, Maha Ganpati, Tarpan classes are also on, and 5 books are up for sale, which you can, you know, e-books of course. So you have to email and clear the amount, and I'll email them to you right away. 5 books. The 6th book coming up will be on Bagalamukhi herself. I'm writing it during this Navratri, and it's again a deep, intimate exploration of the energy that we call Bagalamukhi, and the primordial ray of intelligence being yellow. You know, it's even Kali's Gujja color is yellow. But this sari is kind of biting into me for some reason. I don't know why. It is a very heavy Kanjivaram sari, and it is biting into me. So I'll have to go now because I start pujas for clients now, and after that I will start my very own japa and continue for as long as I can. And I hope you guys have been enjoying your Navratri. Yes, the astrology was a bit challenging this time, but that's life, right? And that's how we grow, that's how we experience. So thank you very much for being here. Take care. Speak soon.